If you have just 20 minutes a day to practice, then this is exactly what you should do. This lesson is for beginners, but everything we talk about in this video will apply equally for intermediate players as well. So we're gonna break our 20-minute practice session up into 3 segments. Every time you grab your guitar, each one of these segments needs to be covered. The first segment is connection and understanding. The second segment is technique and dexterity. And segment number 3 is application and musicality. Now, instead of cramming every 20-minute session full of every concept and exercise you know, we'll be rotating exercises within each category each day. And I'll give you some exercises and examples so you know exactly what to do. First up, connection and understanding. And in your 20-minute routine, you'll want to spend your first 5 minutes here. Now, how this looks is going to look very different depending on where you're at in your beginner or even intermediate journey. But the main purpose of this section is to be learning new things. But not just learning them in isolation, it's making sure that as you are learning and understanding something, that you are connecting it back to the understanding you already have of the guitar. For example, if we took some of the chords in the key of C major, A minor, F major, and G major. Well, we could learn that we could play those as 7th chords. Or maybe I'm diving into the cage system and I want to see how many different ways I can play a C major chord. Any new chord, any new scale shape, scale position, this is where you want to be working on that. Now, it's not realistic if you're doing this 20 minutes every day and you're spending 5 minutes here to do something new every single day of the week. The idea is to maybe pick one current concept that you're working on and then spend 5 minutes of the practice session each day working on that same thing. Remember, the important thing here is that whatever new thing you're learning, you are connecting it back to your current understanding of the guitar. You always want to be building on top of your existing understanding, and that's how you're going to see that real progress. Our next 5 minutes will be spent on technique and dexterity. For pretty much every one of these exercises, it's very important that you use a metronome or a drum track to play along to. That way, no matter what you're working on, you're actually cross-training it with rhythm exercises naturally. Finger independence is something we're really going to want to focus on here. So a good exercise for that is the spider walk. Flexibility and strength are 2 other very important areas to focus on. One of my favorite ways to practice this is with something called the 3-note per string scale. Another thing I want you to focus on here is relaxation. Tension is kind of the enemy of technique and dexterity. And one of the best ways we can fight that is actually just through learning how to relax our body properly when we play. So before each and every exercise that you work on, I want you to just kind of close your eyes and I want you to focus and feel where the tension is. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, your arm is relaxed, right? Your grip on your pick is relaxed. And one thing that's worked really, really well for me to make sure I'm fully relaxed is actually to pay attention to if I'm clenching my jaw. Quite often, my jaw will still be clenched even if I'm trying to relax. If you focus on that, relax your jaw, everything else should also relax too. Once you feel relaxed, you can go ahead and move forward with your exercise, but pay attention to how relaxed you stay as you work through that exercise as well. Developing a good sense of rhythm and timing is probably one of the most important skills you can have as a guitar player, and the earlier you start working on it, the better. And one of the best ways to do this, turn on a song that you really like, mute all your strings, and try and follow along to the drum pattern. So it's going to force you to try and be a little bit dynamic because you want to try and emulate the different parts of the drums. That one is really fun and accessible because you can just change to a new song and all of a sudden you've got a new exercise. The other good rhythm exercise that isn't quite as fun is to throw on a metronome and play different divisions over it. Quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, You could even throw triplets in there. There's so many good exercises you could do to fill this 5 minutes up. You can even go seek out other dexterity exercises out there if you want to. The final 10 minutes of your practice routine should be filled with application and musicality. This is where the real work is done. It's where you really want to challenge your mind and connect it to your physical abilities. Now, depending on where you're at in your journey, that's really going to dictate what you actually can work on here. But I think the most basic form of this would be to learn songs. And I know as a beginner, it's really easy to learn songs by just going and looking up the tabs or going and looking up a chord chart and just copying what you see. But what I mean by learning songs here is to actually try and understand what is happening. So when you look at a chord chart and you see, oh, it goes from a G major chord to a B minor chord to a D major chord. What is happening there? Why is it doing that? That's the way you want to try and learn these songs. The absolute best way to learn songs here is to learn them by ear. And it's actually not as hard as you might expect. A beginner can actually learn all the skills they need to be able to figure out songs by ear. However, if you're not at that point yet, that's totally understandable. There are other things you can be working on that will get you up to that point. And this all comes back to something called ear training. And ear training can be a really great way to fill up this last 10 minutes too. So if you're not at the figuring songs out by ear point yet, that's no big deal. You can learn to recognize intervals. So if I play this note and I play this note, it would be learning how to hear that that is a perfect fifth, because you can train your brain to hear that. Same would be this to this. That's called a major third. And you don't need to have perfect pitch to learn how to hear these things and identify them. It's what we call relative pitch. This could also include learning how to identify chord qualities. So that would mean if someone played you this chord, can you tell if that's a major or a minor chord? How about this chord? Is that a major or a minor chord? A great kind of middle ground between all of these is to try and find the key of songs by ear. Again, it's something that you can learn how to do pretty quickly. And that's really going to help build that connection between your ears, your brain, and what's happening on the fretboard. I do have a full-on proper course on this whole figuring out songs by ear thing. So if that's something that interests you, you want a more step-by-step approach, I'm going to put a link down in the description for you. That course is called Listen and Play, and you'll get a discount if you use that link as well. Another great thing to be working on here is improvisation, something that I would say is pretty scary for most beginners, but it is something that is also very accessible and something you can start doing right away. I have a bunch of videos on my channel. I'll make sure to link at least one of those below that will teach you how to get into this. It's very, very simple. You can use a very basic scale over a very basic track, nothing fancy, and just start noodling around, figuring out your own melodies and coming up with your own little solos. This is one of those skills that if you start early, you're going to be way ahead of everyone else as you graduate out of that beginner stage. Then we've also got songwriting. This is another thing beginners tend to avoid, but as long as you know a few chords and how they fit together, you can absolutely start writing your own music. And that doesn't mean you need to write massive productions or like multi-layered guitar parts and a ton of vocals. You don't even have to sing. It just means putting some chords together that you like the sound of and maybe recording a voice note on your phone. Don't worry about even showing it to anyone. The whole goal here is to just work on that creative part of you. So to recap, in our 20-minute practice routine, our first 5 minutes would be spent on connection and understanding. Our second 5 minutes would be spent on technique and dexterity exercises. And then the last 50%, that final 10 minutes would be spent on application and musicality. If you're covering all three of these categories every time you pick up your guitar, I can absolutely guarantee that you will see massive success in your guitar playing. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and please also consider subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to me. Right after this, I'm going to be doing a follow-up lesson to go up over on my Patreon. So if you want to learn more about practice routines, make sure you go hit the link in the description and join us over there. Otherwise, I'd recommend you check out this lesson on how to improve your rhythm guitar playing as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.